Hey, what is up guys? This is I Know a Guy here with another video. So today we're going to be briefly discussing the PC case that I'm using right now. So, well, life happens. I got a new motherboard for my computer. I built the computer onto the board, I tested it all, got the board working, updated BIOS, and then realized the board didn't fit in my old case. That was smart. And then I went on Amazon, and the new case I wanted, which was the Thermaltake V200, was about $64, and I was gonna order it, and then I didn't find the time to that day. I went back on the next day, and it was 75 bucks. And I decided, nah, that ain't happening. So, I decided not to buy the case, basically. But I still needed something to get my PC off of my desk and just lift it up so that, like, if I spilled water or something, it wouldn't ruin my motherboard and most of the components attached to it. That would really stink. So I I had my motherboard and everything sitting on the table still. I was thinking about it. I went downstairs in my basement and I found this nice piece of plywood. And I'm like, you know what? It's worth a shot. I had a couple hours. I drilled some holes, put some standoffs in, mounted my motherboard, mounted all the components to it. It was looking good. So I couldn't figure out how to like mount the thing upright. And then my dad came along and said, why don't you just put the power supply through a hole in the frame to just kind of hold the case up? And I'm just like, huh, interesting. So I drilled 4 holes where the corners of the power supply were going to be, cut it out with a jigsaw, and slid the power supply in, and well, sure enough, held it up quite nicely. In fact, I'm not even afraid at all that it's going to fall over. Okay, I am a little bit, but that's just because this is an expensive computer. Ooh, some nice timing for those fans to kick on while I'm recording. You know the feeling. But anyway, moving on. So, in this picture, you notice one thing. You see the motherboard power cable at the bottom of the picture? Yeah, I had forgot to make a hole for that, so there was no way it was reaching the power supply. So what I did is I just took um, one of those, I think it's like a 1-inch paddle bit, I think that's what it's called, and I drilled 2 holes and I connected them with a thing called a coping saw, because my jigsaw wouldn't fit that close to the motherboard. And sure enough, I managed to make the coping saw explode all over the basement. That was fantastic. Well, it was quite hilarious, I mean. Glad I didn't get hit in the face by any of the flying little pieces of it. But, you know, life happens once again. Anyway, after that was done, um, yeah, it kinda, yeah, that's kind of a picture where I was getting it all put together, getting everything test fitted, you know. There's one thing I hadn't taken into account. The ends of the PCIe cards needed to go through the wood. That I hadn't thought about at all, so I ended up taking a really small drill bit and just drilling a bunch of itty-bitty holes in a line, and then I took the drill bit and moved it back and forth and spun it really fast and put a lot of pressure on it, and I just kind of widened all the holes into one. Worked pretty well, and the cards are quite secure. I still made little holes for zip ties and things so I could hold everything down, because there's no screws or anything, so because screws exceeded the budget, obviously. When you have a $3.50 computer case, screws are like $3, so doubles the price. Can't do that. So, moving on. So now it's actually running really well. I mean, it's a little sketchy. Cooler's kind of barely holding on the edge with one screw, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So, it's looking pretty good. It's running. Works. Got my nice new overclocking Z68 motherboard with it's a E3 1240 V2. It's a Xeon. Everything seems to run pretty good, and yeah. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.